Hi there, thank you for tuning to my channel. This is Tekang again, and today we are going to dive quickly into President Trump's speech in Congress, and we are going to also look at what he said about President Zelensky's letter to him regarding the Ukrainian war, and then we are going to look into Stephen Smith's visit to the View, and then we'll end up with the trade wars with Canada. Okay, let's dive right into it.
Joining us in the gallery tonight is a young man who truly loves our police. His name is DJ Daniel. He is 13 years old, and he has always dreamed of becoming a police officer. But in 2018, DJ was diagnosed with brain cancer. The doctors gave him 5 months at most to live. That was more than 6 years ago.
Guys, look at these people. We have an amazing young man, 13 years old, multiple surgeries from cancer. He was given 6 months, or was it 5 months to live? And he's here with us 6 years after. And these demonic entities are just sitting here, not applauding, not standing up for this young man. I mean, I don't know how severe their TDS is. They hate Trump so much, they will not applaud a child. They will not applaud a child suffering from brain cancer. They will not stand up for a woman a mother who lost her child. These people, we saw a girl hit by a man pretending to be a woman who collapsed right in front of us and is damaged from on one side of their body. And these people, this is just so un-American. Who are these people? These, I believe, are globalists, these people. They're globalists. What does that say about them? Like the saying goes, if you don't have something to stand for, you stand for nothing. These are these people. Look at them. Trump came with wearing a purple tie. Typically, purple, the color purple means unity. He came wearing that. Not just that, but he did ask. He did tell them to at least acknowledge these people. If they stand up for nothing else, he says, if they don't hear him on any other thing, at least stand up for these people, applaud these people. All these victims that he was naming. But these people hate him that much. They hate him so much. I don't know. Sometimes if you even ask them why they hate Trump that much, they can't tell you. But we all know it has to do with him cutting the funds they've been stealing from us. It's ridiculous.
Since that time, DJ and his dad have been on a quest to make his dream come true, and DJ has been sworn in as an honorary law enforcement officer, actually a number of times. The police love him, the police departments love him. And tonight, DJ, we're going to do you the biggest honor of them all. I am asking our new Secret Service Director, Sean Curran, to officially make you an agent of the United States Secret Service.
Look at those Democrats. These people are demonic. Nobody can convince me. These are not normal people. They're not normal.
Thank you, DJ.
Amazing. And now we're going to take a look at what President Trump said about the situation in the Ukraine and the discussion that he had with the letter he got from President Zelensky regarding mentioning that he was ready to come to the table to discuss the next steps.
Also working tirelessly to end the savage conflict in Ukraine. Millions of Ukrainians and Russians have been needlessly killed or wounded in this horrific and brutal conflict with no end in sight. The United States has sent hundreds of billions of dollars to support Ukraine's defense with no security, with no anything.
Now this is the part. Look at J.D. Vance's eyes. He's looking this way at the Democrats. Look at Mike Johnson's face. It's like they did not clap for that little boy, the 13-year-old with brain cancer. They did not clap for the lady, the woman that lost her daughter. They did not clap for or stand for the young lady that lost her police officer husband. But they're clapping for us sending our tax dollars to the Ukraine. Really? Unbelievable.
Do you want to keep it going for another 5 years? Yeah, you would say Pocahontas says yes.
Look at her. Yeah, she's clapping. Clapping for your tax dollars going to the Ukraine. Remember, President Zelensky a couple of weeks ago mentioned that of the trillions of dollars that were sent to the Ukraine, they've received only 50%. Now, where's the other 50% going to? There are people talking about the money being laundered back into the U.S., into the hands of politicians. I'm not naming any names, but this is happening. You know it, I know it. We might as well just know it together, right? So this is what they're clapping for. Because why would you want a war that started in 2014 to continue? That means families are dying, children are dying, people are losing their lives while we sit here in the comfort of our country and push for war. This military-industrial complex nonsense has to stop, okay? It's time to stop this nonsense. These warmongers need to be stopped. Let's continue.
2,000 people are being killed every single week. More than that. They're Russian young people. They're Ukrainian young people. They're not Americans.
Remember a few weeks ago when Zelensky was here and they had that, how can I put it, like when Zelensky was last in the White House, and they had that very heated argument with J.D. Vance, President Trump, and President Zelensky, and he was saying that, oh, they all support President Trump 100%, and then after that there was that heated argument where he left with nothing being solved, and the next day the European leaders met and started talking about rearming the Ukraine. Now, where do you think the arms are going to come from? Who do they think is going to be the one funding the bulk of the armament or any support to the Ukraine? Of course, it's going to be the United States. And they're sitting there running their mouths and talking about how they're going to rearm the Ukraine, right? And then then Trump comes and says, I am stopping all aid. Everything stops now. Okay? And then these Europeans want war because it benefits them. Their leaders, not just the Europeans, but the leaders are benefiting from the military industrial complex. And then when all that happened, and Zelensky, of course, knows it's all talks, and he caved, realizing that he wasn't going to get that much help from the Europeans. And at this point, all these countries are all just talk. Okay? They've all gone crickets. Suddenly, no one's talking anymore, and they were running their mouth about rearming Europe, knowing fully well that the bulk of funding or armaments is going to come from the U.S. because who is the one that contributes more to NATO, right? Okay?
But I want it to stop. Meanwhile, Europe has sadly spent more money buying Russian oil and gas than they have spent on defending Ukraine. By far. Think of that.
True.
They've spent more buying Russian oil and gas than they have defending. And
Now, I went back to mainstream media and watched this entire speech. And if you see how they cut the clips and how they interpreted those clips that they cut, I was watching like, my goodness, these people. They spend all these years, every hotel you go to, every bar you go to, CNN is on, right? So these people have been hammered with lies and lies every second of their life. Now, why wouldn't they believe some of the things that they hear on mainstream media? Because they've been hearing that their entire lives. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's watch Stephen Smith talk some sense into this talking head.
6 weeks. Seems like 6 years, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. And he's been going around with his cronies touting his so-called landslide and blowout win. But he won the popular vote by 1.5%, one of the smallest ever, and he won the general election by less than 50%. So what kind of mandate is this really?
Well, it is a mandate, and I'm going to explain why. And I don't mind the question, but let me be very clear. I'm no supporter of Trump. I'm a supporter of truth and the facts. And here's the facts. The man won every swing state. He increased in terms of his voter turnout in his favor from the standpoint of blacks, Latinos, and young voters. He increased his numbers in that regard from 2020. 89% of the counties shifted to the right. That's a mandate. We can sit up there and play around all we want to. In 2020, Trump didn't win the popular vote. He didn't win the electoral college vote. A matter of fact, the Republicans hadn't won the popular vote, if I remember correctly, since 2004. But they did this year.
Did you all see crickets after that? Look at this. Crickets. Look at them. Let's go. Look at this. Look at the way.
Remember correctly, since 2004. But they did.
Let me go back.
But they did this.
Come on now.
Matter of fact, the Republicans hadn't won the popular.
Look at Whoopi. Look how she's sitting. She's like, what do I say now? What do I say now to this man that is spitting out all this truth that we don't want our viewers to hear? We don't want anyone to hear. Oh, why did we invite him? I am really happy that we are hearing this from a black person. Stephen is sitting there and throwing it at them. Democrats don't like these types of black men. They don't. You like the little CC people like the, what's his name? On CNN, Van Jones, that will come there and be all smiley, telling all these sweet little lies. You know, they want a bitter type of black man. Stephen is interested in truth and facts. He might be positioning himself now that the Democrat Party has lost all the real black men. They've lost in fact, they've lost all credibility anyway, I'll put it that way. Kudos to him. So he sees the gap and, he's acting on it. Who knows? He could be the next president of the United States, maybe 2032. We'll see. Because at this point, I think the Democrat Party is done. That's not the Democrat Party we know. It's not like I've ever voted for them, but that's not the party we used to know. They're not. Party of the gig. I don't even want to go there. Yeah. All right, so now we got Mr. Colorfoot Socks playing all tough with these trade wars. And, let's see how that will pan out for Canada. So let's take a look at what he had to say.
Launched a trade war against Canada, their closest partner and ally, their closest friend. At the same time, they're talking about working positively with Russia, appeasing Vladimir Putin, a lying, murderous dictator. Make that make sense. Canadians are reasonable, and we are polite.
Yeah, we are reasonable and we are polite, but remember when this Mr. Colorful Socks, how he treated the truckers during COVID and how he blocked their credit cards and their bank accounts. These men did that. And how were they supposed to get money to feed their families? Who's the dictator now? Who is the dictator? Now, let's not forget 75% of imports are from Canada, right? Which means that 75% of Canadian market is the United States. Now, if you're going to start a trade war with a country whose market is 75% of your exports, how are you going to survive that? He knows that he's unpopular. He has a pending resignation and is running after the microphone to save his butt. Let's see what happens in a week or a few weeks. Do you know how many Canadians run to the United States for vacation? Right? So you have Pierre Poilievre in Quebec, that's the conservative, but he's very, people don't really know him. He's not that popular. And he's not taking interviews, going to podcasts, or showing, taking himself out there. He's just hiding behind the scenes and not talking at all. If you mention Pierre Poilievre to anybody, nobody knows who he is. He needs to top up his game or just remain the loser that he is. That's just ridiculous. He's not going places. He's not going to podcasts. And he needs to maybe we should just get Wayne Gretzky to come out and be the leader of the Conservatives, because this Pierre Poilievre, I don't know what's up with him. But anyway, now regarding those tariffs, let's take a look at this. Do you know that Canada charges the United States for milk 270%, cheese 245%, butter 298%, chicken 238%, sausages 69%, barley seed 57%, bovine meat 26%, cars 25%, HVAC 45%, vacuums 35%, cable boxes 35%, TVs 45%, steel 25%, aluminum 45%, copper 48%. It's just fair game, mister. You just have to come to the table and negotiate instead of trying to retaliate. And I see a lot of Canadians online on X, and they do agree with this, because it's all about what's true, what's the fact, versus what you're trying to fight a war that you cannot win, right? All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in today. I appreciate you spending your time with me today. If you liked the content, you can subscribe to my channel, and you can share with your friends or like. And until